Hello, friends. I thought I would just introduce myself and our new to us 1996 Roadtrek 210 Popular that we purchased just a few weeks ago here in central Missouri. We've been slowly just doing a few minor things to settle in over the last week or two and are anticipating leaving tomorrow evening just to drive a few miles to a state park near us for a couple nights of winter camping. We're winterized, so there's no water in holding tanks or anything, but we'll be taking water with us and have set up the van so that we think that we'll be plenty warm for the couple days. Today actually is going to be a beautiful day, probably in the mid to upper 60s, but then it'll drop off tomorrow evening, so the high Saturday will likely be in the low 40s maybe, and drop down cooler than that at night, but Sunday should be a beautiful day. And the state park we're heading to, which is Graham Cave State Park, has a number of nice hiking trails, and we've camped there most every year for a number of years and enjoy going there to hike the trails. They aren't heavily trafficked, but they're certainly beautiful, and it's a nice way to get outside. So having said that little brief introduction, we've been posting some GoPro edits, I guess you'd call them, of different activities over the last few weeks as we hike locally here in the areas around our home, or I posted a number on a trip or from a trip that we made out toward Maine several weeks ago. That trip was made in motels and cars, and it was a lot of fun, but one of the things it did was convince us that we really would like to be back into some kind of a motorized vehicle that we could take on trips. And we'll say more about that later, but we've been married just about 50 years. Next year's our 50th anniversary. We've been camping off and on that entire time, raised a couple boys who were active in Boy Scouts, and we often would do a lot of tent camping with them. We, for a period of almost 2 decades, owned a Class C Shasta 1993, and we finally sold that and traded it off in 2017 and purchased a trailer, which you can probably see out there through the window, a Rockwood Mini Light. And we've enjoyed using the Mini Light the last 3 or 4 years, but getting to a point where I just prefer not to have to pull something if I didn't have to, and so we've been looking at Class Bs, looking, certainly hoping maybe to get something newer, but because, as most of you all know, due to increased demand in the pandemic, new vehicles are hard to come by. And I read yesterday wait times now for some of Thor's models are out 2 years. Certainly prices of lightly used newer vehicles seem to be quite expensive. A lot of technology with solar and other things that I'm not that familiar with. Certainly probably could learn, but anyway, I've been moving toward getting an older RV, and we were fortunate to find one here locally. This Roadtrek that has 128,000 miles on it. The previous owner had purchased it with about 127,000 and had put in a new rebuilt engine and did a lot of work to the front end. I think she had receipts for about $10,000 worth of work roughly, and so it looked like maybe it'd be a good bet for something that would allow us to try out Class B camping for a while and see how we liked it. The thing that particularly drew us to this model was the twin beds in the back, and my wife and I are each in our 70s now, approaching getting older, and crawling in and out of beds in a Class C over each other to get to the bathroom in the evening and whatnot doesn't have the appeal that it did at one point, and so we've been looking at twin beds. So our intent is just to leave this setup as it is, probably during the day, just to leave the beds made up. There is a table. Those of you that have watched YouTube videos know that there's another table that can mount in the back. We've got that in the house right at the moment, and as we head out, we'll just see if we really feel like we need it or not. There is a table in the front, and the chairs swivel. That'll show in just a moment. But while we're back here, there's an air conditioner, a couple of really large cabinets on either side here. Right now we don't have anything in, but no doubt we'll fill soon. Couple of nice areas here for shelves, which we'll probably be putting clothes and towels in. There's storage drawers underneath each of these beds that are quite large. See if I can get one open here. And then a similar one that's on this other side. The propane heater is in the back. And then we also purchased mattress, heated mattress pads. So we're gonna give that a go, see how that works. I mounted a TV back here in the back that'll swivel around so we can watch it either laying down or in the front. Apologize for the rat's nest. I haven't quite figured what to do with the wires yet. There's a cabinet here that initially was built for a TV and a VCR. There's storage space or counter space here. The table does slide out. Right now we'll be probably using it for some of the storage with teapot, plates and that kind of thing, waffle iron, and some odds and ends electronic stuff there. There's a nice drawer that pulls down over the top of this, covered up while you're traveling. There's storage up here, which has some regular plates, coffee cups, and some paper items. A small microwave, an over-range hood for a 2-burner gas stove. There's some more storage under here. Pots and pans, a water heater, water pump down there. One of the things, those that are familiar with winterizing campers, I purchased a bypass for the valve set up for the water heater, and I'll be installing that before we de-winterize in the spring. And that will allow us to bring in antifreeze when we're winterizing. And then there's a nice, really relatively large size refrigerator here for runs off propane, off the DC battery, or offshore power, either one. So not quite as big as what we have in our camping trailer, but still very nice. Across from this kitchen area then is the bathroom set up. And right at the moment, like I said earlier, it's winterized, but there's plenty of room in here for storage of different things. And also then shower curtain, and then the shower, and shower track up here that extends out into the hallway, and you can bring the shower curtain around and stand here and shower. And then there's a drain underneath right now, this rug that you can unplug, and if you're wanting to take a shower. Obviously we haven't yet, and that'll be something to look forward to. There's shelves on either side that run along the front third or so of the van. I've turned the one passenger seat around so that you can see what that looks like. Two then seats here in the back so you can carry 4 people. I added a couple hooks here, just maybe get another 1 or 2 to hang coats, our bag for when we head out hiking that has our snacks and ponchos and that kind of thing. But all in all, the van was in very good shape. I think it had been well maintained. And another video, I'll give you a tour outside, show how we're using the space there. So having said that, I thought I'll go ahead and sign off for now, and then hopefully here tomorrow we'll take some more video and then upload that so that you get a chance to see what it looks like at our campsite. Take care and have happy adventures. Bye.